Happy rails to you. Welcome back, my friend. Happy rails to you. It's good to see you again. Happy rails to you. Please keep watching in. Hello, everybody. This is G-Man, My World 67. Well, you see in front of you the 999 from part 1 of this previous video, evaluation and refurbish of another 999. And what I've done is, like I said, I took the black magic marker or permanent marker, whichever you want to call it, and just a permanent marker. You can get these at the dollar stores, Dollar Tree, Walmart, etc. And went over it. I decided to not just do the scratched areas, but to do the whole engine. This is the whole engine redone. We redid the whole shell. And then sprayed it with clear coat. And put it in the oven for about 20 minutes. I have not done this bottom area down here yet, so I wanted to show you how that would cover. Let me get this camera situated. Okay, so if you haven't tried this, works great. I first showed this on one of my other videos, I don't know, two, maybe 3 years ago. And then a few other people have done it since then. And I'm sure it's been done probably for quite some time by many people. But it is kind of a well-kept secret, or has been for a number of years. Guys used to always use this just to cover the scratches on their engines. That's all there is to it, as you can see. It covers, it gets rid of it. And this is what the end result is. Now you can use, if you don't want to use a gloss killer coat, you can use the dull clear coat also. If you think maybe that's too shiny. A lot of guys don't like real shiny trains. I'm good either way. Sometimes I just like them to look natural. Most of them are shiny when you get them, when they're brand new. And a lot of times I like my trains to look almost brand new. And after all, if you're going to redo one, you want it to look its very best. Okay, we'll set that aside. Here's the motor. Hope you can see this okay. And we need to angle the camera a little more. Sometimes I have a problem with this camera standing up like it's supposed to. Okay. So I went ahead and cleaned the wheels up a little more on it. And I had to go ahead and repair the same steam chest and put this original steam chest back on it, as I was pretty sure I had a truck for this steam chest, or a steam chest, another steam chest with the wheels, the truck on it. But unfortunately, I could not find it anywhere. And I guess in the process of repairing the Canadian Pacific, I probably used it on that one Canadian Pacific engine as it was damaged. But it did have a partial one on it, and I don't know where I put it, so I couldn't find it. But anyway, I re-straightened this up, because this was all bent and out of shape. Got it straightened up back on. Got everything tightened up on it. As these were loose also, they would move up and down, and still move up and down a little bit, but not much. Got them tightened up. As you can see, this motor is clean now, inside and out. I forgot to tighten this. Make sure this brush plate's tight. Yeah. And so I did pull the brush plate off and went ahead and cleaned the armature. Now I'm going to lube it up. I haven't lubed it up yet. As I said, when we first started this project, it had enough oil on it, I think, to lube it up for another 20 years. But we'll put some oil on the pad, let it soak it up. That way that bearing and that motor shaft will get well oiled. Now, I don't know why I'm using this big old thing. I guess because my eyedropper is not much smaller. But I've got a bottle that I put oil in. It's an eyedropper. kind of works a little better. And you can get in there. And drop some oil down on those bearings. I've got the sniffles today. Well, it's supposed to be raining right now, and it's not yet, but I notice it is getting darker outside right now instead of getting lighter. 70% chance of rain today, all day long. Moving to 100%. I think by about 12 o'clock. It was supposed to have rained all day yesterday, and it did not. Actually, it was 10% all the rest of the day yesterday. And usually around here, if it's 10 or 20%, you still get rain. It never rained at all. Yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening. Okay, I'm going to move this shell up out of the way. And we're going to get the old trusty portable track back out. This portable track that I have really has been a big help to me, and really because I've had to move my train repairs and things to the inside here and work on my desk. And I don't have room on my desk, as you can see, to actually leave anything set up permanently all the time. So building this has really been a good deal. And if I could, I would have built it a little longer. But this is just right for the top of this desk. All right. Hopefully I'll be back out in the shop working on trains by spring. And there it is. Good response. And it's a quiet engine. That motor's just really, really quiet in comparison to some of them. All right, so motor runs good now. It's clean. And by the way, if you keep your motors clean, makes no difference which type of motor it is, whether it be a can motor or this type of motor with armature and brushes. If you keep your motors clean, your engines won't run as hot. Kind of like a real car engine. Once it gets a lot of gunk, grease, oil buildup on it, it serves as kind of an insulate. And your motors run hotter. But if you keep your motor clean, or fairly clean, your car will run better even in, especially in the summertime, even when it's really, really hot, as long as everything else is working well. So it's good to have a clean motor, and they'll also last longer. Okay, so we're ready to put this back in. And first thing we've got to put in is our trusty lens. Sometimes they're harder going back in than they are coming out. There we go. You know, I think I better put the truck on next. It's a little hard to get that truck on there. Okay. Now, what I hadn't done yet is went over this truck. So I'm going to go ahead and touch this truck up. I'm not going to worry about this surface here because it's going to go right back on there. That's where it makes contact with the body, and it's going to wear back off just as soon practically as we put it on, because it's going to go back and forth on it. So as soon as we start running it, run around a few times, that will be bare again. Okay. Now we'll let that dry a few minutes. It doesn't take very long, and I don't really need to handle it that much. But I want it to sit there and dry, pretty dry before I touch it and handle it. That way there's no danger of any of it smearing off. While that's drying, I just wanted to show you this caboose. Now this caboose was also one of the things I had out there. I've got quite a few of them actually. But this really wasn't in that bad a shape. I thought it was in worse condition than it was in. The wheels were rusted on it. And this chassis looked like it was rusted. This was just covered with a grime that looked like it was rust. But surprisingly enough, when I cleaned it all up, the chassis was not rusted. This shell was not rusted. It was a little faded, few minor scratches, almost excellent condition, with the exception of the fading and a few minor scratches. And so the top itself had more scratches on it than anything. So I redid the top with a red marker. I don't know whether you can see that or not. And just cleaned it up real good. I redid the frame, the black marker. And then shot it with clear, which brought the original red paint back out. Made it an excellent, nice little caboose once again. So, just really pleased with that. Now the 5.56s are common cabooses, so nothing special about the caboose itself. They're just nice tin litho cabooses. I just really enjoy Marx's lithography. Do not over tighten those. Yet you want them tight enough so that they doesn't work back out, so that they do not work back out. Okay. Now let's insert the motor once again. Get one side of it down in there and then pry just a little bit on one side. Well, rather than do that, when I reshape this. I didn't gauge it to see how far off it would be. Yeah. I'm all thumbs today. Yeah, this one's this one too tight now. I can't see the other side. There we go. Okay. And there it is. Now, outside of the front truck and as I'm still going through parts and boxes. I might still have one, but I'm also going to be looking to get one on the internet. Let's see how this looks running as a complete engine now. Well, there it is. We have a like new 999. And just think, that was junk. It wasn't all in parts, as some or most that I repair. It was just basically like being in a lost and found box. For a number of years, unrepaired, unrefurbished, unnoticed. And now, we definitely notice it again. Well, that's all I have for you on this second part. And as always, as I say, if you enjoy working on your trains, customizing, working on your layout, just having fun, then you should have happy rails. That's all for now. Bye-bye.